Welcome back to the Hurry Up Offense. Fantasy football news and advice for week 3 of the NFL season in under 10 minutes. I am Smokey Rameriz, your fantasy football pro. Let's go. The topic of today's show is to stay the course. It's only week 3. We're only going into week 3. We only have 2 weeks of real data to go on, so you must stay the course for now. But first, let's get into the news. Ben Roethlisberger has a pectoral injury. If you're one of the unlucky souls that has to play Ben Roethlisberger right now, this is going to be even worse. And it was obvious that the guy is not playing up to his full capabilities, or at least his capabilities at some point in his career, and this is going to make it even worse. He probably will play, so if you absolutely need it, you can, but I wouldn't suggest it. Amari Cooper is up in the air right now if he's going to be able to play or not because of a rib injury, and it seems like those are going around right now. Let's hope he's out there because you really need him if he's in your lineup. Evan Ingram is back in practice. Maybe he's going to play. Maybe you shouldn't play him. The 49ers are now scouring the XFL for running backs because apparently every running back who makes their way out to San Francisco is injured for some weird reason. Why is that? What's up, Shanahan? Why? Jaquez Patrick, you're the next contestant on Who Wants to Break Something in San Francisco. Jarvis Landry has an MCL injury and is headed to the IR. Poor Baker. Poor Cleveland. That was his only reliable target. Odell Beckham has been out dealing with his injuries all the way from last season, so he may be coming back in this game, but I don't expect him to be 100%. But he's probably going to be forced into usage in this case, so let's see what happens with Odell. Davis Mills is a third-round rookie quarterback out of Stanford in this year's draft. We're going to see what he's got because Tyrod Taylor is headed to the IR. Man, this kid's going to be thrown in the heat on the worst team in the NFL. Well, maybe the second worst. Still think Jacksonville owns that title for right now. If there is any highlight to all this quarterback injury drama that's going on, is that Andy Dalton is week to week with an injury right now, so probably means we're going to see Justin Fields start this game this week, and I am uber excited. I'm starting to work up these scenarios and fathom the idea that Justin Fields might just be the best rookie quarterback in the league right now. Mac Jones, not so fast, my friend. Once again, Bruce Arians is in public saying he's not really impressed by Ronald Jones. You don't say, Bruce. You don't say. Look for more Leonard Fournette this week with a little bit of Gio on the side. Hold the Ronald. Antonio Brown is going on the COVID list. If he's not back by this weekend, it doesn't matter. It wasn't his week anyway. I'm looking for a Chris Godwin week. Tua is officially out for week 3 now. We kind of expected him to be anyway, but Jacoby Brissett is stepping in, and I don't want no piece of that team at all. Well, I'll take that back. Actually, I want to see what Will Fuller does in this offense. I want to see if there's just a hint of some kind of relationship he can build with Jacoby and get something going, and maybe this will look good for when Tua comes back. Wishful thinking. We'll see. Russell Gage is week to week, as if it matters. Tyrell Williams is out this week, as if it matters. Quintez Cephas is looking good, though. But don't expect too much out of that offense other than TJ Hockenson. That is the only high point on that offense. We may see Jacob Eason start for the Colts this week. Kind of intrigued to see how that looks, but I don't have a lot of high hopes for it. Josh Jacobs is still out for this week, and I don't want no part of that backfield. I don't want Kenyon Drake, and I don't want Peyton Barber. I will stay away from that completely. Do it if you can. I would be intrigued, I'm not going to say happy to see Deontay Johnson's injury. I never want anyone to actually get injured, but I would be intrigued to see how it turns out for Chase Claypool and Juju Smith-Schuster without Deontay Johnson on the field. But at the time, with Big Ben's injury, I'm not really that excited about it. Not as much as I should be. Not that Big Ben was setting the world on fire, but he's a little worse for wear at the moment than what he was even. So, if if you're going to take a chance, you just want to live on the wild side, throw Chase Claypool out there. See what happens this week. DeAndre Hopkins and Dalvin Cook are both sidelined at practice today. Cook, I'm a little more worried about than DeAndre. I think it's just a maintenance day, but Cook, you might want to watch it. I think he's going to be out there. I think he's going to be fine, but continue to monitor that before the weekend. Looks like Shenault is ready to go for this week, and he will be out on the field. Let's hope him and Lawrence can get something going, which I think they will. I think they're going to build a rapport. I think that's going to be his number one target going forward. These guys should be much better in the coming weeks. Damian Harris appears to have some kind of finger injury right now. This is the first anyone's made a note of it here on Wednesday night. So I think it's something to make a note of right now, but it's not something to really worry about at this time. If it seems to be getting worse throughout the week, Belichick lets out a little more information, maybe this is something to worry about. But right now, don't hold your breath. Trey Sermon is back in practice, and if he's going to play this week, I do expect him to be the number one back there, along with the XFL and the practice squad guy. So Trey Sermon should be the number one back there. Who knows what that means with Shanahan, but he should be the number one guy. Don't want to play him. Couple more pieces in a very news-filled week. Derek Carr looks like he should be fine and ready to go, and is actually producing quite decently on the season so far. So if you need him, if you have him, you shouldn't have to worry too much about that. It looks like he's on route to play this week. And lastly, Miles Sanders is completely healthy still to this point in the season. But there is a disturbing trend going on there in Philadelphia, and it's that the backup rookie running back on a team that is already eating into Miles's rushes with the quarterback Jalen Hurts, but Kenneth Gainwell is also slowly creeping into the workload and taking away from my man's rushes here. Oh man, Kenny Gainwell is doing it, and I don't know how this is going to turn out for him, but as for right now, Sanders is off to a good start. He should be fine, and I don't think it's going to continue to progress, but don't be surprised if it does. You never know. That's it for the news this week. Now, let's get on to the game theory portion of the show. That is, stay the course. You know who your superstars are. You know your proven commodities. You know who they are. Let's not get cute like before the season. Let's not overreact to week 1 or week 2. Let's not start cutting bait on guys that we know are proven commodities. We need those guys. They are proven commodities because they are going to come through for you at some time in the season, most likely. That's why they were drafted highly. That's why you leave them in your lineup. Okay, so we got a bad matchup or two. Maybe your superstar running back is going up against a great defensive line like the Bucks or something. Yeah, you could fade those matches if you have another proven commodity superstar to fill in. Let's give it a few weeks. Some of these guys that show out for 1 week at a time are not going to be around for the whole season, so don't get hasty and start cutting proven commodities for these guys. Now do this, as I said last week, make sure you check your waiver wire to see what other people are dropping, because other people definitely overreact, especially if you have new players in your league. You have to go right behind them and pick up what they are dropping. So in summation, don't drop your superstars just yet. Give it another week or two, and we will assess the situation at that point. Stay the course. Stay the course. Stay the course. If you do have open spaces, you can pick up some of these new guys like a Quintez Cephas if you think he's actually going to be something. Only if you have spaces. Do not drop proven commodities for Quintez Cephas. Understand? Good. That's it for this week. Guys, please subscribe to the Beyond Football channel. I am your host, Smokey Rameriz, your fantasy football pro. I'll see you next week. Deuces.